Thank you for joining me tonight, and if you're watching the video afterwards, thank you for watching the video. Tonight we're going to be talking about World War 3. It's a game that was out a couple of years ago. I invested in it, I bought it. It didn't have the greatest starts, to be honest. But what I want to talk about tonight is the fact that they are re-releasing the game. It's going to be coming out free to play. As you can see on the screen just then, it's the Farm 51. They've gone with my.games, and they're going to re-release it again. And the good thing is that the veterans, the people who invested in the game previously, we bought into the game first time round, we're going to get the opportunity to test the game out very shortly. So as you see on there, the veteran alpha test. So we're going to be able to play the game very, very shortly. I'm quite excited about that because it was a game that I was really interested in. They said it was the Battlefield killer, and it's very similar to Battlefield, the way it plays, the way it looks, the objectives, etc., etc. The only problem was when the game was released, it was an absolute mess. It was such a shame, really, because it had so much potential. There was a lot of people interested in the game, and there was a buzz surrounding the game. It was so badly optimized, and I'm sure the developers won't mind me saying that. I'm sure they realized the mistakes that they initially made, and hopefully they've got it right this time round. I've been playing World War 3 just recently, the older game, not the new game that they're ready to release again. And I enjoyed it. Like I say, it was just the optimization. No one could get a game. The games were crashing. It really was a dumpster fire. It wasn't anything to look forward to. You're waiting to try and get in a game for so long, and it really was a mess. So hopefully they've got it sorted out this time. And what I've seen, but via the trailer, I'll put it on again for the Veterans trailer. I'm really excited about the game. There's one or two things I'm worried about, which I'll talk about. But it would be nice to know if anyone out there is interested in World War 3 if it comes to the console. Because although there's nothing definite, they are actually saying that they would like to bring it to the console. Like I say, there's nothing definite. They haven't promised anything, so we can't hold them to anything. But yeah, they do actually want to bring it to console. I've just put a poll up there, and someone's already said no, they're not interested in the game. I think it'll be something good. I think it'll be something interesting. It is a Battlefield type game. I compared it to the way it played when I initially started playing it to COD, believe it or not. So people disagreed, people agreed, but I thought the actual game itself reminded me of Battlefield, but the actual gameplay and the mechanics reminded me of COD. But obviously, we don't know if they're going to bring it to a console. They said they want to, they have plans to. They've just give no definitive sort of answer when it comes to the console players. I really think that, it'd be great if they could get it to console. Okay, so when it initially released, it was, all over the gaming news. Everyone was really excited about it. And when it actually released, it didn't go down too well. The optimization was bad. It was very glitchy. It was very buggy. And I'm not sure where they got the servers from, where they rented them from, but they didn't do them any favors. If anything could have gone wrong with a release, it happened in this game. And like I said, a lot of people were touting it as a Battlefield killer. We get that, don't we? We get people saying that, the new Call of Duty is, going to get beaten by Battlefield. Battlefield is a Call of Duty killer. They were calling World War 3 the Battlefield killer. It's not going to happen. they're all completely different games. I did find World War 3 a little more hardcore than Battlefield and Call of Duty, because they are quite casual. You got to admit that they give them, or give the community, the casual fix. But World War 3 was something different. When we were getting, all these historical games, you had Battlefield 1, you had Battlefield 5, and people were shouting out for a modern shooter, especially on the consoles. And World War 3 came along, and, it just crashed and burned, in all fairness. Now they're going to release it again. Like I say, if you've previously bought this game when it was initially released, you are going to be able to play this Veterans event absolutely free, because the game, and that's a good thing about it as well, the game is going to be completely free. What I'm worried about for World War 3 is My.Games, and no disrespect to My.Games, but they haven't got the greatest reputation when it comes to microtransactions and pay to win. Like I say, I'm not slating them, I'm not slagging them off, but I'm a little bit worried. I'm also a little bit worried that you will have to install a third-party client to launch a game. Hopefully you don't have to. Hopefully they will leave it on Steam again, and if it does eventually come to the console, because as you can see there in the gameplay that I've just shown, just above me there, it looks quite exciting. And don't forget, before I start talking anymore, as you can see up there, Battlefield 2042 giveaway. Subscribe to the channel. That's one of the things. It's going to happen in the next few weeks. I'm going to be giving a base copy of Battlefield 2042 away. And one of the criteria is you've got to be subscribed to the channel. So if you want to be in a chance of winning Battlefield 2042, subscribe to the channel. Don't forget the thumbs up on this video. So anyway, we'll get back to World War 3. So the Farm 51 released the game, wasn't very successful. A lot of people thought they'd abandoned the game. Excuse me. A lot of people thought they'd abandoned the game, but obviously they went away. They got themselves together. My.Games got involved. They've got some serious money behind them. And they're backing the Farm 51. So, in that sense, it's a good thing. I'm just hoping, fingers crossed, that we don't have a pay-to-win game. World War 3 is something that, like I said, I had on my radar for a long, long time. And it's coming out now, and it's going to be free. That's one of the good things about it. It's going to be free, and that's one of the things that's worrying me a little bit about it ending up with microtransactions and pay to win aspects within the game. I hope that any monetary purchases will be for cosmetics only. I'm really excited about the game. I just hope that they've got it together this time, and it's going to be something a lot better than what it was. I think they've had a lot more time to work on the game. I think they've probably polished it an awful lot, and it's probably going to be featured on the channel because I was a fan of World War 3. So, I am going to give it another chance. Don't get me wrong. I've had a go at them on Twitter. I'm sure they've seen it, where I've said, there's certain decisions that they're making. They did a countdown recently, a couple of months ago, maybe a month and a bit ago, where they were counting down the days. So it went 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Over the weekend, we thought we were going to get this massive announcement, and it was actually, with all due respect, a mediocre trailer for the game, and it wasn't too special, in all fairness, and I think they got slagged off a little bit for that. So hopefully, hopefully they're going to be releasing something a lot better. So it's a modern game. The new veterans test environment that they're going to let us play, I think it's at the end of the month. I think it's the 30th. I'll certainly be trying to play the game. So on the 30th, I think they're going to let us play the game. It's going to be exactly the same maps, but they're going to show us the new features, the improvements that they've made in the game. And I'm just really excited about it. I just think, World War III could be a good addition to the first-person shooter genre. So I'm going to play the Veterans trailer again. It's only about a minute long. But if you have a look at it, it's very Battlefield-esque. They've got a lot of the mechanics that you would expect in a first-person shooter now. Like the sliding, the gun animations. One thing that I really enjoyed, and I think the majority of people enjoyed in the initial release a couple of years back, was the customization. It was absolutely awesome. It was well forward for the time. Customization for World War III was absolutely brilliant. I don't personally know if this is the sort of game that, people would like on console, because it is very Battlefield-like. It is, like Call of Duty. I mean, people they'll have their own opinions about the game. I don't know if anyone's seen any gameplay or anyone's been interested in World War III. I would recommend it. I really would. And, I'm sort of contradicting myself here. When I played it first time round, I did slate it a little bit because, like I say, the optimization wasn't up to patch. It didn't play very well, and you had to wait ages to get into a game, and when you got in a game, you got kicked out of the game. It was a mess. But I would still say that, give this game a chance, and you can't lose anything. If there's any PC players watching this video now, or if you watch it at a later date, you can't really lose because it's free. It's going to be free. Like I say, the only thing that I'm worried about is if it becomes pay to win. That's the only thing that's, I've got a bit of anticipation about. Like I say, there's 4 different maps. How you doing, mate? Long time no see, Box. Yeah, I'm talking about World War III. It was a game that I would definitely recommend. I honestly would recommend this game. And I think Farm 51 deserve that second chance. And I think they've done the right thing by bringing it out free to play. And like I say, I do have anticipation for the game, but I have got trepidation for the, how they going to make money out of this game. Because My.Games are going to want their money back. If to be commercially viable, they have to make their money back on this game. And how they're going to do it, I don't know. They're not. They can't even do a season pass because it's a free game. So it's a little worrying that they might turn this game into a pay-to-win game. And I don't want that. If it's cosmetics only, I think 99.9% of people will say, they don't mind that. So anyway, let's. Bork said something over there, so let's see what he said. Yeah, been working away a lot the last few months. Weekends have been a write-off, mate. I've been doing nothing but working at the moment. Starting at 7 o'clock every morning. Now all hospitality business has been getting back up to spec because that's the sort of business I'm in. I work for a big technology company that deals with the hospitality sector, and I work in the sort of repairs department. I fix shit IT equipment. So anyway, so we're talking about World War III, but as usual, if any of the usual suspects are in the chat, we always veer off when, obviously, if and when the chat gets going. So I don't know if anyone's experienced World War III out there. It's just a game that I really personally enjoyed. I'm just going to have a sip of my beer. Just give me 2 minutes. Apparently, believe it or not, this is a German lager. It looks awfully dark to be a lager, but it's really good. And like I say, I bought myself a beer machine, a draft beer machine. So I've been enjoying draft beer recently, not been on the whiskey for a good few weeks, as people who've been watching the videos, the live streams at least, know that. It's good though. Tasty. Nearly went down the wrong hole then. So yeah, like I say, they've not made any promises about a console edition of the game. But they said they want to release it, and I think because of the company My.Games, I think they'll want to make as much money as possible. And if they're going to make the money in the correct and right way that we all think is the correct and right way, by selling cosmetics only, then I think they'll be desperate to actually get this game on the console. Let's put the trailer on again. That's all I've got at the moment, the trailer, because I don't want to show footage from the older game, because it's not the same. You know, this I can actually see by I'm looking at the trailer now. I can actually see the difference. The graphics are more crisper. Not been a massive fan of their sound engine, and what I've seen or what I've heard is not impressing me too much at the moment. But the gameplay seems more smoother. There's one or two animations that I don't like. When they throw a grenade, that always seems a bit clunky to me. I don't think that's changed from the last iteration of the game. Let's have a look. Yeah, I think the Polish Balked, to be honest. Balked actually just said, yeah, it's going to be a play-to-win Ruski sellout. I think they're actually Polish, the development team. I'm not sure where My.Games are based. I don't know if they're a Russian company or not, but I believe the Farm 51 are a Polish company. Maybe there's Russian lads involved. I don't know. But the one thing I admire about them, the one thing I do really admire about the team that's dealing with World War II, they realised that the game was, you know, I have to say, the game was a fuck up when it was released initially. And, you know, they tried and tried and tried and tried. There's a lot of content creators out there that give it so many chances. Big Fry gave it so many chances, and I think in the end he actually got a little bit pissed off for it. Tactigamer, he is another one that stuck by World War III, and you know, even though I've not made an awful lot of videos about World War III, apart from when it first come out, and you know, I did have a little bit of a go at them. You know, they stuck by it. They look for different avenues, and I've got to admire that, because you know, the bottom line is, I think like a capitalist, you know, you have got to make your money. I understand that you've got to make the money as long as you don't take the piss. But I'm a bit afraid of how they're going to make the money. So Bork said, my bad, I thought the publisher was Russian. I'm not sure about the new publisher, My.Games. I'm not sure about them, to be honest. I've not really researched about My.Games apart from what I know anyway. And they have a reputation of making pay-to-win games. And it is a little bit worrying. I just hope that the Farm 51 with World War III, as you know, stipulated that, you know, if you're going to want to buy into our game, that we don't want it pay to win. I actually seen a comment on Twitter, and it went something like, hopefully the microtransactions doesn't turn this game into a pay to win. And they said, no, you just have to grind and, play the objective. But they didn't really say if that was the way they were going to go or not. And that's what I'm saying, is that I'm slightly worried that, if they need to make money, My.Games say we've got to make money somehow. And if it is going along the pay to win route, I think this game will fail. I think it'll fail again. And I think that My.Games will drop the Farm 51 or unless get them to develop something else. But it'd be an absolute shame because I think it's got so much potential, especially this time round. I think could be a little bit special. But, we're basically just have to wait and see how they go about it. It is a good game. I remember playing it when I had a decent game, when I could get on a game the first time round, and when I got a chance to play it. I actually enjoyed it. I did enjoy it, but it got frustrating because the optimization wasn't very good. It was very buggy. I played it a few times with Chris from Christie Gaming Zone, and we had a blast. We had a good time. But then you'd get the game start lagging. It'd get buggy, and it got frustrating. So we came off the game. But I'm really optimistic about World War 3 this time around. Little Joke said, "What's up, Devlin? How's it going, man?" Yeah, I'm doing really well. I just thought I'd talk about World War 3, Joker, because as a veteran, apparently a veteran being someone who bought into the game initially, who bought it when it first came out, we're getting a chance to do sort of a veterans test. I'll just put the trailer on again. A veterans test very shortly, so hopefully I can put some gameplay on. They've not said there's going to be an NDA, so maybe they're going to let us show footage of the game. Does look a lot smoother, but this is in engine, I suppose, or in fact, I was going to say it might be a cinematic, but it's not a cinematic because I don't think the Farm 51 has ever done a cinematic trailer. It's usually just a gameplay, and it looks pretty smooth. It looks good, and it's something I could play, especially because it's going to be free. So I don't think there's much, not even myself, there's not much that I could moan about. They could promise this, promise that, and there's nothing really I could say because the bottom line is it's free to play. As you know, last week we had some problems with the audio. I had a shitty boom arm, and I've invested in a half decent one. I bought the Rode, I think it's a PS1, something like that. It's called, and this is brilliant. This is like smooth as butter. Because last week I actually moved the boom arm a little bit. There was all this crackling noise, and the microphone went off for 3 or 4 minutes, which when you're doing a live stream seems like hours and hours and hours. So World War 3. Yeah, it's something I would recommend to people. I'd say give it a chance if you're on PC. Like I say, they want to bring it out on the console. If and when they do that, I don't know. They've not promised anything. They've just said that they would like to have the game on the console. So anyway, as you can see up there, Battlefield 2042. I know I'm doing a live podcast on World War 3. Anyone who's watching this now and you're not a subscriber, if you want to be in with a chance of winning Battlefield 2042, you have to initially subscribe to the channel. Like I say, in the coming weeks, I'm going to be telling you what you need to do, because obviously I'm giving one copy away. It could be a PC copy, it could be a PlayStation 4, Xbox One, or it could be the new generation PlayStation 5 or Xbox Series X and S. It'll be entirely up to that person, and we'll arrange how to get that to you. And I'll make sure you get the copy not on the day of release, before the day of release, so you can download it. So whatever you want to do, you have to be subscribed to the channel to be in with a chance of winning a copy of the game. Joke said, I'm interested in World War 3. I mean, I don't have any hype for it like 2042, but World War 3 is something I'll have to check out when and if it comes to the console. And the fact that it is free, Joker. And the one thing that, you know, I don't even know if admire is the right word, but what they've said is we can't give you a definitive date. We can't tell you definitely if it's coming to the console or not, because they don't know at the end of the day, you know, when they can release it. So they'd rather say, yes, we would like to release the game on the console, but we can't give you a definitive date, or we can't give you any time scale, just the fact that we would like to release this game on the console. Gonna have another little chug of my beer. So good. One of the best investments I ever made was that beer machine. We've gone through so many kegs in the house, but it's really good. It's ice cold and it tastes like you know, a pub pint. And I'm not a very big beer drinker. I like my spirits, I like my whiskey, but that was a decent investment. I think it's called a Blade. I bought a Blade brew machine, whatever the hell it is. So anyway, we'll go over to the chat and let's see what people are saying. So yeah, let me go back to Joker. He said he was interested in World War 3 if it comes to the console, but not as hyped for 2042. But 2042 is going to be a disappointment. A month isn't going to fix what's broken. EA hired grifters rather than devs again. So we'll just, I think, but we'll have to wait and see, because I'm massively hyped for 2042, massively hyped, and I'm not sure what the problems are, but what I've seen of the gameplay, and I've seen, you know, very close up of the gameplay, and I'm sure you did as well, Bort. I'm worried a little bit because they've been a little bit quiet, I must admit, but I'm super hyped for Battlefield 2042. I can't wait for the game to come out. I've been waiting for a modern Battlefield game since, obviously, Battlefield 4, and that'll be a thing. What was, you know, I'm sure there's a lot of Battlefield players out there. What was your favourite Battlefield game? Because the one, my favourite, actually released as a shitstorm, as a dumpster fire. It was an absolute mess when it was released, and that's Battlefield 4, but it turned out to be an awesome game, Battlefield 4. But that released in an absolute mess. I wasn't really doing YouTube then. I think I had the channel, but I wasn't really doing much YouTube then. So I probably would have slated the shit out of it at the time. Box said, I don't think developing projects like this work from home. Joker said, same. Yeah, I think it's going to be harder. What's bothering me is, you know, if you have to delay a game, I think I said this last week, if you have to delay a game, stop fucking blaming this pandemic. Stop blaming it, because I think the way technology is now, and this is only my personal opinion, the way technology is now, you know, if you say, for argument's sake, DICE LA wanted to employ, shall we say, just for argument's sake, the number one coder in the world for whatever, say the number one map builder in the world or map designer in the world, and this person lived in Britain and he wasn't willing to go and move over to LA, I'm sure he could do whatever they needed to be done through Microsoft Teams or, Skype or whatever it is now that you do the conferencing on, and then just upload to a server for them to, see what sort of work this person has done. I honestly don't think it makes a difference if you work 10,000 miles away or if you all work in the same office. I do understand that, you can have these meetings, you can have these video conferences, but it's a lot more simple if you're all in the same room and bouncing off each other. But I'm just sick and tired of these games companies. I'm sick and tired of these snowflakes saying, oh, it's because of the pandemic, it's been so hard. I think because of technology nowadays, you could be live with your colleagues and with your bosses and with everyone else who's involved in development of whatever game it is, and you could be 24 hours just talking to each other, as well as developing developing the part of the game that you're working on. Bork BF2 still never topped. That's Chris from Chris T Gaming Zone's favorite game. He still does videos. I think he did one a couple of days ago. I gave it the thumbs up about a mod on Battlefield 2, and he wasn't overly impressed, to be honest. And he's a bit like me. He says it as it is. Little Joke said BF3 is my favorite, but BS4 is a close second. Yeah, BF3 was excellent. I mean, the thing is with BF3, I think that's why it's loved so much, because it was so out there when it first came out. It was so advanced for what sort of game it was. It was so far ahead than anything else. It's just my preference was for Battlefield 4, but yeah, Battlefield 3, absolutely superb game, and I was playing that the other day, I think. So let's have a look. But I'm not saying remote working doesn't work on a technical level. The creative aspect and lack of team would be detrimental. Yeah, I agree in that sense. But if you have a company such as EA or even some of the bigger independents, you can work in an office environment, and the poll's going 50-50. It's just jumped to 50-50. So 50% of the people said they would be interested in World War III, and 50% of people wouldn't be interested in World War III if it came out on the console, because they are planning, or they said they would like to have it out on the console. So yeah, lack of team will be detrimental, and I'm sure it would if you're all in the same room, because like I say, I work for a big technology company that works for the hospitality business, and there's six. I think there's 7 of. Hang on, let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 7 of us in a room, basically fixing product or products, and sometimes you'll get something that you haven't come across, and we'll all discuss it and say, oh well, I've seen something like this and this happened and that happened and whatever. And it's I agree, Borked, it is a lot easier if you're all together, but the technology now and the way you can video conference and you can do it 24 hours a day, I totally agree that it's a lot easier, but I think you can get around it with something like Microsoft Teams or whatever video conferencing software you care to use. But, again, let me reiterate, but I totally agree that, if, especially in coding, I suppose, and development of a game, the colleague interaction would make the job so much easier. So yeah, development in a group task that is best done face to face. yeah, I have to agree with you. What I'm saying is that, you know, it can be done. It can be achieved, you know, for people working remotely. It just bothers me, you know, and I have to say, it just bothers me that, you know, a game's delayed, and then, you know, like say, you get the snowflakes, you get the developers themselves, you know, the release a post or the, you know, put an announcement out there. It's been so hard because of the pandemic. I understand it's been so hard, but it's been used as an excuse now, I honestly think that it is being used too much of an excuse for, you know, to give that's why the game has been delayed, rather than just say, you know, like, in all fairness, like DICE and EA said, and I'm sure they mentioned the pandemic, but, you know, they've come across a certain bug, and I don't even know what it is. I can't even remember. I think I've seen it, but, you know, there's a certain glitch in the game that for, I actually think it's for the PlayStation. Don't quote me, but, you know, something just popped in my head then. I'm sure it was something to do with the PlayStation, that there was an issue, and maybe that's why when the technical playtest, the people who were lucky enough to play that you know, they had to cancel the PlayStation one. Maybe that was it. Maybe that's why it's in my head. Yeah, respect a good delay. If the product isn't ready, it isn't ready. This will be remembered as the next Cyberpunk. Borg, just let me ask you a question. So you're not very optimistic about Battlefield 2042. If you are, please correct me, but it just seems that you're not very optimistic. Do you think it's going to come out not ready? Do you think it's going to be another Battlefield 4 where it's going to come out and it's going to be an absolute mess when it comes out? Be nice to know. But my mate, funny enough, you've seen him. I think you've spoke to him as well. It's Dave, One Shot. He said Cyberpunk's playing like a dream at the moment. Apparently there was a recent update. He is a big fan, and he's stuck with the game all the way through. He obviously seen that there was issues with the game, but he said Cyberpunk is awesome. I didn't invest in it. I know Chris T Gaming Zone, he invested in it, and he still says it's shit. But I didn't invest it in Cyberpunk. It wasn't my sort of game. So I can't really make any comment about it, in all fairness. But he said Cyberpunk, One Shot, he said the game is great at the moment. And I think we were talking again about this last week. I forget the game. Is it something Man's Sky? One Man Sky, maybe? I can't remember, because that was an absolute mess when it came out. Apparently is a great game now. Is it One Man Sky? I can't remember. I bet I'll have another drink. So anyone out there who's watching the stream tonight, is there any game that you're interested in? I predominantly play first-person shooters. Let's have a look. It says your message is hell for review, Joker, so I'll just show it. I'm interested in World War 3, but I'm not holding my breath, especially after the shit show that was Insurgency Sandstorm console version. Are we going to get on Sandstorm again? I'm trying to steer myself away. Yeah, but so, do you know what it is? I played Sandstorm on PS5. I wasn't impressed, but I've actually got bored with the game on PC. And I was a bit advocate for the game. I thought it was a great game, and it is a great game, and it is good for PC players to get a game like this. Got to show that one as well. Yeah, so I wasn't impressed with it. A lot of people like it. You see the hate I'm getting on my videos because You know, I'm saying I don't think it'll last. I don't think you know, will be a success what they hope it'll be. But I want it to be a success. Honestly, I want it to be a success for the console players, not for NWI, not for the game itself, even though I do like the game and I enjoyed my time that I played the game. I just didn't like the console edition of the game. Maybe that's because I'm a PC player. I just didn't enjoy that game on the console. But it was the way that they treated their community over those couple of years. And you know, there's subscribers that I got for the channel. You know, I tried to help them. I'm now getting backlash. And I told you I wouldn't stop. And I'm not going to stop. If I've got something to say and I don't think it's right, I just think, you know, the console players have got a bloody shot coming when those servers start getting full. And if they've got the same servers as they had for the PC players, then, you know, I think some of these people are going to change their mind about the game, but more so about NWI. So let's go over to the chat again. Boxhead, I don't trust EA / DICE. I'm actually a fan of DICE, in all fairness. EA, I can't stand. And it's amazing how they ask me to play all these alphas and betas. They contact me by email, and I have no idea why they do that, because I have slagged the shit out of EA. But I do like DICE, in all fairness. I have no problem with DICE. Okay, so we've been here before, and will surely be here again. Sadly, a franchise I love gets kicked to the curb each generation, so yeah, not very optimistic. You know, I'm actually optimistic. I'm hyped about the game, but I do have my trepidation. You know, I am a little bit worried. They went a bit quiet. They went a bit dark. Then the leakers came out and said that the game is going to be delayed. And then they came out and actually justified what the leakers were saying and delayed the game. What I think they should do is get in there before the leakers so it doesn't look as dodgy. Because I think it looks dodgy when a leaker comes out and says, you know, your favourite game, this massive franchise, this massive company, EA / DICE, are going to delay that game. Everyone's saying, bollocks, that's not going to happen. And then DICE and EA come out and say, you know, we are going to delay the game. And you're like, holy shit, what the fuck? Why didn't you say that before these people said that? Because that sometimes it gets my back up, and I think, now you are being a bit sly. You're going back to what I expected from you previous. So yeah, I think they should learn the lesson, and what they should do is make sure that they get this information out before the leakers can get it out. I'm just going to pour myself a beer. I've got a jug, actually. I've filled it up with beer, so I don't have to keep popping downstairs. And it still stays fresh. It's a massive head because I just poured it out of a jug, but there you go. Let's have a look. So yeah, No Man's Sky was a shit show at launch, but apparently it's actually really good at the moment. I couldn't remember the name. Did I say No Man's Sky? I can't remember if I said it. Doesn't matter how good the game becomes. If it's bad at launch, it'll be dead on arrival. And popular opinion, BFV is actually pretty good. Now, cheaters aside, yeah, it's a game I wouldn't go back to. Battlefield V. I don't know. There was a lot of damage done there, and that's why I think they probably are going to make more of an effort with Battlefield 2042 because the uproar that happened because of Battlefield 5. Yeah, I do believe it's a decent game now. It's just something I don't think I could go back to, and I still go back to Battlefield 1. I definitely go back to Battlefield 4 and 3. Love playing Hardline. A big fan of that game. Hopefully, in the Portal, of Battlefield 2042. They'll include some hardline content. Give that game a new lease of life. Let's have a look. I don't think they made the decision from Borked to delay until 0 hour. See, for me, that's an issue because obviously they were talking about it because someone's gone back to the likes of Tom Henderson, and I don't think he was, I can't remember the other guy's name. I had it up on my screen just before I started the podcast. But anyway, the leakers, so they must have been discussing it. They must have knew that they were going to delay the game. So I think they should have just done it. If they were thinking about it, obviously there's an issue. Sometimes people say to me, or I've said to people, we'll fix something, and a lot of things that go out to our engineers, we will send out to them. And when they have to, for argument's sake, swap something out from the van, they will swap something out that's been refurbished, repaired by the lads in the repair centre. And, I've said, and people have said to me, oh, would you put this out like that? And, sometimes we answer, well, if you need to ask, then you shouldn't be putting that out. So for me, if DICE were saying, shit, we think we might have to delay this game, don't think about it, just delay the game. They've given us a new date, and it's about a month, and I know, Borked, you've got issues that you don't think whatever they need to deal with can happen in a month. I think until we know, definitively what the issue is, I don't know. I don't know what I would say. I think one of the big things is going to be the beta, because we all know when you get a beta, when a beta drops, that's pretty much the game you're going to get. Or it's not going to be miles away from the game you're going to get. So I think I'm going to hold back till I see or play the beta. I'll put that trailer on again for World War 3 if anyone's not seen it. Because, I am excited about this game. I'm a bit worried, like Borked in the chat, that it'll turn in a play-to-win game. Bluenetic, how you doing, mate? I didn't see you pop in there. It's like when everyone knows at work knows what's happening before it's announced. Totally right. I think that's what I was trying to hint on there. But then your bosses should be telling whoever, like customers, that there's an issue. It's the same with any product. So say for argument's sake, we were sending out how can I put this? Because there is something coming out, a new system. For argument's sake, the company I work for is sending out a new system. It was not going to work 100%. When they said they were going to send it out, they need to tell the customers. Because in effect, well, not in effect, we are the customers. When, when Battlefield's announced and we're going to buy the game, we are the customers, so we should know. So I think I have to stand by that. As soon as they think, because if they think, then they should be delaying the game. So if they think they have to delay the game, delay the fucking thing. Don't mess about and don't wait for leakers to come along and tell the customers and leave the customers in limbo. What the hell's going on? And then a week later or a few days later say yes. Because it makes them look stupid. For me, it makes them look like they're incapable of communicating with their community, and I don't think that's a good way to go. Bluenetic, I'm intrigued to see whether 0 Hour or Squad will come out on console. Maybe current gen only though. That's something we'll have to wait. I can't see Squad coming out, in all fairness, but Hell Let Loose has done it, so I don't see why Squad shouldn't do it. interested to play Squad again. Actually, I actually went on and did the wee training session again on Squad. It's a game I'm still interested in. How you doing, Stars? Really nice to see you, mate. Little Joker, for the most part, Bork is right. How a game launches is important. There is a chance that a game can come back and thrive after a terrible launch. BF4 and No Man's Sky are proof of that. Yeah, totally agree. I'm not actually disagreeing with Bork. I just have, slightly different opinions on one or two small aspects of what Bork is saying. Bluenetic Squad never will. I can see 0 Hour eventually getting a console release though. 0 Hour. I'm actually struggling with it. I think with 0 Hour, even though I think it's a decent game, I think you have to play with a squad. You have to play with people communicate. Because in 0 Hour, communication is key in that game. So Bluenetic, let's have a look. Yeah, Bluenetic said, I think that Squad will, as Hell Let Loose is coming to console, and I believe that they are pretty similar in engine. Well, the engine's the same. The engine's exactly the same, Bluenetic, but I think it's just the way the games play. Even though Hell Let Loose and Squad seem very similar, I don't think they're as similar as you think. I think Squad. Do you want the honest truth? I don't think Squad wants to be on the console. I think they're happy where they are. They've got that market, and I think they dominate that market on the PC, and I think they're happy with that. You know what? I'd like to see it on the console. I just don't see how they will do it. For me, I don't think it will actually come out on the console. Let's have a look. If you sell something that doesn't do as promised, there is a legal issue. Well, I remember when Battlefield 4 was released, I think there was a section of the community, and there was investors that were going to take them to court because of the shit show that was Battlefield 4 at the beginning. But look what sort of game it turned out to be. Like I say, it turned out to be my favourite iteration in the franchise. So Bluenetic, we'll definitely wait and see how it sort of pans out. But anyway, let's because it's not long to go. Like I always do, about an hour. And then I'm going to pop over, if I could ask anyone who's watching this stream, Chris T Gaming Zone. I'm sure if you subscribe to me, you'll know who Chris T Gaming Zone is. He's doing a live stream. I've been dying to get on, but the bloody idiot did it at the same time as me. So I'm going to pop over and see if Chris does longer than an hour, because he started at the same time at 8:30. I would have liked to have popped over and give him some support. So if you search for Chris T Gaming Zone after the stream is finished, give him a little bit of support and say Devlin sent you. So Bort, Insurgency Sandstorm Hypocrites, up and coming video is going to be very interesting. I'm going to enjoy making this one. Now, I'm actually not going to say. Well, no. How you doing, Silver? I was just saying there. I don't know if you heard, Silver. Christy Gaming Zone is doing a live stream. So when I finish the live stream, it'd be nice if you could pop over, say Devlin sent you, and give Chris a bit of support. But I've got about 6 minutes to go. Yeah, Balked. I'm not actually going to say anything because I've been going through a lot of my audio. I'm very careful what I do. I record pretty much everything, and someone's been a bit of a dick. I actually was going to leave it and not say anything, but there's there's an individual that is still trying to be an absolute cock. And there was no reason for it. Like I said, I was going to leave it. I'm actually going through a lot of audio. There's a lot of hypocrisy that's been going on for the last few years. And do you know what? All I'm going to say to you is that I respect my subscribers. I like my subscribers. I ask my subscribers if they want to come and play. I've, said that I'm going to do something when Battlefield 2042. And when I know there's an individual out there who really disrespects and, openly doesn't like his subscribers, and then he has a go at me, has a go about me, then wouldn't leave it and still has a go about me, then, it comes to a point where you might have to just call these people out. And I could do it with just messages, but anyone can Photoshop, a message. So I've been going through all my conversations. I've got them all on SSDs here. I don't know where to put them. I've had all these SSDs out. I've been going through all these conversations. And the bottom line is, if the little prick says one more thing, I'm going to show his subscribers exactly what he thinks of them. So that's what it's all about, Borks, but I'm not going to mention who it is. Watch this video on the Sandstorm ramp. It was a good video. Yeah, actually, Chris is really concise with what he says. He actually researches it. He does a little script where, as I'll just start talking, and, sometimes I talk bollocks. But no, Borks, it's not an NWI person. There's shitloads I could call them out about, but no. But yeah, Chris T Gaming Zone's video, and he's getting a lot. See, this is where the tides turn. So Chris used to get a lot of support because he was doing not the same as me, but he was in the same sort of genre where he was asking NWI to, communicate with the console community, etc., and, he was supporting the console players, and, they were loving him for that. Now the game's got a beta and people are playing it. He's happening with him. See, I really honestly don't give a shit. People who know me know I don't actually give a shit about the downvotes and all that. It actually gets you more views, so because it's interaction. But Chris is getting, on that video, he's getting a lot of downvotes, and it's not fair because people forget, like Chris, myself, were trying to help the console community, and they really like that. And now all of a sudden, you've got these new batch of console players that are giving shit because, the console beta's out now. I just really hope that NWI are not going to use the same servers as they use for the PCs. Because we played it before it was released. And then, it played brilliant, played excellent. And then when it was released, it was like optimized like shit. They actually took loads of features off us. The graphics were downgraded, etc., and it was shit. It did get better. There was a lot of content, and it did get an awful lot better. But I'm just worried. I'm worried for the console players, and they can't understand because I say to them, I want it to be a success for the console players. I just don't think it'll be a success. And, if anyone turns around to me and says 3,000-4,000 people playing a game is success, then you're fucking deluded, in my book anyway. So Box saying, wasn't there some drama before with NWI using bots? And I never heard that, Box. I mean, obviously, that's something I was never told that anyway. But NWI, for me, are just not a nice company. You'll find you know, look, right, okay. So Chris did a video. He did it about the price of the console editions. And I'll go to the last one. What is it? The Ultimate Edition, the Gold Edition? Yeah, it's a Gold Edition. Now, they're charging pretty much double from the base game for that game. And they said 16 cosmetic packs. That's an absolute lie. That's bollocks. It's 4 sets of 4 cosmetics. Because it actually says it. If you look at it, they said they worded it so you think you get 16 sets of cosmetics. You get 4 sets of 4 cosmetics. And you know what? They are drip fed over 2 fucking years. You think that's worth double the money? I don't. I'm glad that you think it's worth that money. And if you want to pay it, that's entirely up to you. I don't think it's worth it. And I certainly wouldn't pay it. Little Joko, well, to be fair, NWI has been deluded for a while now. Totally agree. Would never say any different. So Chris' post, I thought I had heard that before they had been botting people. Yeah, Fortnite cosmetics, all we need. And that's what they went for. Do you remember, what was it, the Chinese pack or something? I can't remember what they called it, Chinese New Year pack or something like that. And I fucking slated them. And even NWI White Knights came on and posted on my video and said, shit, it must be bad. If I'm agreeing with Devlin, it must be bad. And that was from, you know, some of their White Knights. So $80 is a joke. They're still trying to mess over the console community. Look, do you know what, Silver? There's people that think that's a fair price, $40 for the base game. They think that's a fair price. I just don't think it's a fair price. It's an independent game. It's 3 years old. It does look dated. I'm not going to change from that. It does look dated. And for $80, they're going to drip feed you 16 skins, 4 sets of 4 cosmetics, and you can look at it. But the way they word it, they say 16 cosmetic sets. It's not. It's 4 sets of 4 cosmetics. Absolutely atrocious. Never forgive, never forget. Yeah, totally. And I'm not. I love the fact I've had. I don't know if people have looked at my videos in the comments. I'll try to answer as many as I can, even if they're negative. I actually love the negative comments. That makes me buzz, because they think they're, this. They say, oh, you're an old man, blah, blah. Of course I'm a fucking old man. That's not even a diss. I'm an old man. Is there something mentally retarded with you? Of course I'm an old man. It's not even a diss. Get more creative. So Silver said, I still don't understand why people were pre-ordering the game after what they did last time. Neither do I. And you know, the thing is, there was a guy messaged me, and I think he said it on one of my videos as well. Because the game is slightly more expensive now, there's people just recently, within the last couple of weeks, from last year, starting to get refunds. How shitty is that? How shitty is that they are charging that little bit more this time round? So they think, oh, rather than let them have the game, we'll refund them, so they have to pay a little bit more. But it's not working, because the people that have spoke to me have said there's no fucking chance. So anyway, Joker, for people who like the idea of 16 cosmetics over 2 years, obviously has no commitment issues. Totally agree. We need a game like Sandstorm on console. 40 is all right. Yeah, I'm not. Look, I agree that you need a game like Insurgency Sandstorm, mate. Totally agree with that. It is a decent game. For me, it's not worth 40. It is dated, and what I played on the PS5, it wasn't a really good experience. What's the bet in a sequel to Sandstorm is now this year? I can tell you now, 100%, they're already working on another game. I'll tell you 100% that's happening. I just don't want to think, and I just hate to see that NWI are going to fuck over the console community again. Yeah, it's the OK Boomer days. Yeah, totally. Look, I'm old. It's not a diss. It's not, I don't find it disrespectful. So, get more creative. If you want to give me grief, the old man sort of disses doesn't affect me. Do you know what I mean? Ugly, old man, totally agree with you. Get over it. If COD Vanguard is 60 or more, I'm happy just to pay 40 for Insurgency. I wouldn't give them £5 for Vanguard stars, in all fairness. I wouldn't give them £5. My problem is you pay 20 quid more for Battlefield 2042, which includes Portal, which includes that you can mix and match different games in the franchise, and it's a brand new AAA game, and they're asking you to pay 40 for a 3-year-old game that's dated, clunky, and the controls. It's madness sometimes, changing to your second weapon, your number 2 weapon. It's absolutely ridiculous. Right. I've refunded Vanguard. Yeah, I wouldn't even buy it. I wouldn't even buy it. Yeah. I'll just say this to North. Yeah, I like talking with people who disagree with me. I just don't like talking to people who talk bollocks personally about me when I've helped those people. But anyway, North, wait for the conversations that you'll probably hear on one of my videos soon. But it's been over an hour. It's been 30, maybe it's, an hour and 7 minutes. So anyway, I'm going to end the stream now. Thanks for coming along. It's usually an hour. It's been a bit longer tonight. So thank you, and look forward to the videos. There's going to be possibly a hypocrite video coming out soon, and I'm going to do a montage, or possibly a montage. It depends how I feel, to be honest. I might not do it. It depends if people, can maybe not start saying shit because people are coming to me. We'll just see how it goes anyway. But the way I was going to do it is like a Monty Python montage of audio. So anyway, thank you for coming to the stream tonight. We talked about World War III, and as usual, we got off on a tangent. Yeah, that's me, done. Hope you enjoyed yourself. I'll see you soon. Laters.